Hello there, Leo. My name's Frankie, and I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading's for Leo for February of 2020, 2 months into the year already. For everybody who's new out there, I pull 4 cards for the month. We use the bottom card on the deck for our overall view of the month. We'll pull an angel card at the end of the reading, hopefully to bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you for the time of the reading. Guess that makes all of us named Frankie for the time of this reading. Anyhow, look at your moon sign and rising sign. It gives you a more comprehensive view of the month, and I don't believe these cards are going to go week by week. I think they'll blend in and out throughout the month, kind of like overall theme. I have a short message for us before I start, and the message is watch your time, Leo. Like, watch your time. Any time that we are giving, like, or overspending with someone or some situation or event that depletes our energy is not good for us this month. So if it's a person, situation, event, something I'm involved in, watch how I feel after it. Like, how do I feel after I spend time with Sally? Do I feel good? Do I feel energized? Or do I feel like crappy? How do I feel when I spend time with George? Do I feel good, energized? How do I feel when I go and contribute, to this maybe a group cause or something like that? Do I feel like I've done something good, or do I feel like I'm zapped and I'm going to fall backwards? It's that type of energy. So they're just saying to be watchful for that. We have a very interesting reading here, and we have good words. They're transformation, wisdom, contentment, birth, and vision. So I want us to have all of our energy this month so that our vision is very clear, because it's showing maybe right off the bat that it's not too clear, because our first card here is the Two of Swords, and she can't see anything there. That's like mental energy going on here. It's a situation in which it would appear impossible for us to move forward in some manner or way. So it's the person in this card's in a period of stasis, like where they're holding everything, a situation, relationship, something like that, in a state of balance, like by ignoring all the tension that it's causing us. We're ignoring it, and that goes really. When I laid these cards after I got that message, I thought, oh, good grief, we got this sitting in here, and I was like, this is not really good. We're ignoring the tension that exists, and it's a really uncomfortable position to be in. But it would mean that we weren't yet ready, like, to do anything about the situation. So we're not ready. With the card, there's a need for us to speak up and open our mouth. And when I look at this card, it relates like to the Eight of Swords, and that's these cards here. She's only blindfolded, right? And she's blindfolded. And the Eight of Swords, she has the whole face is covered. But that card is the card that tells us, we know what we have to do. This card tells us that we're not ready quite yet, but we have to speak up about whatever's going on, communicate about the circumstances involved. The example that comes to this is like a couple that is that really doesn't get along at all, but they show this good face, like in the public. So it could be, some type of relationship. Doesn't have to necessarily mean my partner, but in public I'm acting like okay, but maybe it's that energy zapper. the thing I always think about is the couple that comes home and they don't speak to each other, then they meet with friends and they're all talking and chatty and everybody thinks it's the best thing in the world. Come back home, they don't speak to each other the rest of the week till they go out publicly and then they're engaging in all that kind of energy. It's like the determination to pretend that everything is fine. And with this means psychologically, the card is the card of denial. So there's something there that I got to speak up about, because eventually, change takes place no matter for like, it'll take place because the continued tension becomes so unbearable. So the choice is available, remove the blindfold. Her hands aren't even tied. We just remove the blindfold, look the situation squarely, honestly, in the eyes, In the Eight of Swords, the situation, we know what we have to do, we just don't want to do it. In this situation, we're just not looking at it. So with that type of energy from that original message, this kind of stuff can transform our lives, especially our vision of our lives. If we were to think about it like that, let's think about the vision of what we want going forward in our lives. How can we even see that if we have the blindfold on? So taking it off, maybe using that original message, because we do have the word transformation, using our wisdom and finding a way to speak it, and so that I can get my needs met, so that I have this word contentment and that fresh new start energy, or new, fresh new start energy, or new birth, like our word. And we have cards here that support this, actually support that, even like that speaking up type of energy actually supports that. That's kind of surprising, like speaking up, like our Two of Swords here, because next card here is the Chariot card, and it says victory is assured. Things are moving really fast. When we get the Chariot card, there's like a transition is occurring, but it's occurring very rapidly. But we're holding things together really successfully, and uniting opposite energies and staying on track. The black horse and the white horse, we got them, they're opposite energies. We're keeping them on track. It's a situation where we're happy, completely, totally involved and happy about it. It's not energy draining. We'd be feeling together, all together with ourselves, with whatever task was at hand. We can't do that in that Two of Swords energy, and because even if it's moving faster than it normally would, we'd be attuned to it. Like that, being able to spin around on a dime is the way I always thinking of it, and keeping up with all the changes as they're happening, whether they're with our relationships, with our careers, for some of us, maybe our careers, at our job, trying to think, or like any other kind of community involvement also, and we'd be loving it, any type of worldly involvement, something that we love, and it's like particular to us. It's in our vision. It's part of that future forward momentum, and we could make all these little minor adjustments, that you consistently have to make to have things going right, So if something's zapping our energy and not giving us clear vision, here, we've got to make the change, because we have really good energetics coming up, but placing, like if something's tiring me out, maybe putting it back in the hands of whoever it belongs to, because we've really got this forward momentum, go get it type energy coming back into our field for some reason, So weigh what I'm doing, out there in the world and see what builds me up and gives me this enthusiasm, this fresh new start, like our word birth there, and what doesn't. And I'm saying it that way because of the way these cards are following, because we actually have three major arcana out of 5 cards here. So our next card here is the Wheel of Fortune. That's when we put the things have been put into motion and now they are unstoppable. They're going to run their course no matter what we do. We did something, maybe we spoke up for ourselves with that Two of Swords or with that original message. We've done something, like maybe quit a job, made some type of travel reservations, because a Chariot can mean travel also, ended a relationship, maybe opt out of a friendship or some other kind of situation. But destiny's put in motion and it will turn out as it is intended, which is really cool because we're capable of making all these changes, and we have the word contentment down here and transformation. So when we get this, there's, we just get on, go for the ride, and go with the flow. Change and adapt as we have to, weird things can happen, like events can happen that we didn't even know were going to happen, like unexpected things, like we meet somebody while we're away on vacation, or we get made some crazy offer that's beneficial to us out of the clear blue sky. What else can happen? Uh, some kind of offer, new opportunity. That's where I want to say new opportunity, but it's like part of the grand plan for our life. So it's like this exciting type of energy, and the word is precursor. This card actually means the precursor to really good fortune for us. So it's exciting energy along with that transformation because it's showing that we're up at the top. We're not the guy falling off there at the bottom, We're the one that's at the top of this energy. But I think we have to look at things that may be depleting us. Are we maybe giving too much of ourself in certain areas? That's a possibility. And sometimes when we do that, sometimes we'll get sick or depleted, and there's things that we want to do for ourselves that we really can't do, because of that energy of depletion. And I'm saying it that way because there's another card coming up after this that I'm thinking maybe might be part and parcel of that other energies, like the energies of that original message there, because our next card is the Empress. So this card is we are in the position, we could be in the position of nurturing another person, maybe maybe it's like we had a kid that was sick or our spouse was sick or something like that, um, or being supportive of a friend or someone else, in their time of need. And but it also means birth, right, like birth of a child, like pregnancy, uh, or the desire for being pregnant. And it would say that it was appropriate for us to get pregnant because we had the inner strength and the ability or the capability to do so without harming or depleting ourselves. So see what I'm talking about with that original message, we can kind of see it coming together with this card and having the word birth and vision and transformation, right? In with in our words here. So they're all kind of like coming together. And so let's say maybe this was the energetics of maybe we were going to start some kind of entrepreneur thing. Let's say it like that. So it was going to be entrepreneurial energy. We would have the words that we would be able to birth the new project. It could be transformative, help people in the world. It would be the vision of what we wanted to see come out in the world, and it would not be depleting of our energy. Because when the Empress is upside down, it's depleting of our energy. So it's no fresh start, new cycle, that kind of energetics, and it all comes off of making that Two of Swords energy, like making the decision or the idea that is beneficial to us, that gives us that energy, because our next card here is the Ten of Wands. Now I want to say we have the 10 in the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 10 of rods or wands. I don't know why they changed the name, but we have another 10. And that tens are completion of cycles and going into the birth of a new cycle. So this 10 could mean, right, for some of us, it's going to mean we are taking up the responsibilities that are appropriate for the new cycle coming in. They may be burdensome, they could be heavy, but we have strength and we have the character to carry the load. Basically, we would, just like with that Empress energy, they're both pretty much telling us the exact same thing. We would feel like we could do anything, even if it was extremely difficult. But Spirit's telling us to pay attention to that energy drain at the same time. Because the card can also mean, right, our labor has gone for naught, for nothing, and we are carrying burdens that don't really belong to us. Okay, we would then, in that case, it would make us feel weary, like the world was on our shoulders, but it's up to us whether the heavy responsibility, actually that we've undertaken, I think is the way it's phrased, is legitimately required, or if others, right, maybe other people are shirking their duties. Okay? So sometimes someone gets all of the work in the family or in an organization, let's say, all the dirty work, and the simple reason for that is they're going to do it, because they're capable of doing it. So make sure with this card and with that original message, even more so, that others are doing their share. So ask for help. It says ask for help if we need it, and don't let pride stand in our way, I believe is exactly how it reads. And don't they say we Leos are prideful, We're prideful, we're generous, we're outgoing, we're giving, and sometimes we give and give and give, and then we'll end up in bed and think, what the heck happened? This card reminds me, I knew somebody years ago, and they worked in an office, and that's why this story sticks in my head. And every Friday afternoon, usually most afternoons, at least 15 minutes early, but every Friday, about 45 minutes early, our one coworker would come over to her desk and throw all this work that had to be done on her desk and say, "Oh, I have a nail appointment, I'll see you later. Could you finish this for me?" The boss said it has to be done today. Well, me, Leo, I'm like, okay, Leo does it, Leo does it, Leo does it. Wasn't Leo's job. One day they come over on Friday and throw it on the desk, and I say, no, I'm sorry, I have all my homework and I have to leave early tonight. And they're like, but I have a nail appointment. They expect it. Or the kid in the room, hey, sonny boy or girl, go take that garbage out. I will. 2 days later, and the garbage is falling on the floor. I told you, Mom, I will. When, right? Or clean your room. I will. When will you clean the room? So we're so sick of looking at the garbage. It's that kind of energy. We're so sick and tired of looking at the garbage, or the dirty bedroom, that we go in and clean up the dirty bedroom and the garbage, and then we're resentful and all of our energy is depleted. So it's kind of telling us this month, take off the blindfold, look at the situation squarely, don't deny it, take the needed changes that make the needed changes. I said that wrong. Make the needed changes that have to be, make the needed changes that have to be made, right? And then start birthing the vision of what we want. And if it was the birth of a child with that Empress energy, if we don't have the help or things that we need, in balance, if we don't have what we need in balance, we're basically can't transform anything. And where's contentment? And is that the wise, like our word down here, use of my energy? Really, Leo, we're going to have to really think this month, and I don't know why, but the message and the cards, and when I get the message, it comes before these cards or before the words. So everything's kind of going along with it, ending and new beginning and vision and birth and all these things. And if it were the ones that want to have a baby and we're like all excited about it, and our husband is too, right? And they never pick their dirty underwear up off the floor, are they really going to help us change the diaper? So we might want to take off the blindfold, and before we made the commitment, really think about, did they pick up the dirty underwear off the floor? Are they going to be committed to us, partnering in this birth? It's that type of energy, Can't make up angel cards. This is funny. Our card is giving and receiving. Good gravy. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale or give and only inhale or receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe and you'll explode, or be dead. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. That really, really sounds like our cards here in our reading, doesn't it? The angel sent this card to you because your giving and receiving ratio has been out of balance lately. If you've been giving much more than you're receiving, you likely have been feeling that others are taking advantage of your kindness. If your imbalance is in receiving more than giving, you may have felt uneasy, depressed, or even guilty. While it's impossible to perfectly balance giving and receiving each day, you can strike a healthy balance. To do so, make sure you give something like time, money, a gift, or a compliment on a daily basis without expecting anything in return. On the same day, be a gracious receiver to unexpected offers of help, compliments, or other gifts. Say thank you without embarrassment or guilt. In relationships where you're the primary giver, express your needs and ask for help. That's good for all of us. And we Leos are almost too generous to the fault sometimes. In your relationships, make sure you both give and receive. The situation you're asking about requires balanced male and female energy. To receive, you must give, tithe, whatever it is that you need more of, time, money, items, and so on. Affirm, I now receive good graciously into my life. I think we are going to receive good graciously in our lives, because this is our precursor to very good fortune, new birth, and a new vision, huh? Like all of our words. and balance. Well, Leo, that's our reading for this month. I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me or just go neb about me, or if you need to set an appointment with me, all the information's down below the screen in the About section over at the website. There are also 2 short videos at the website. One explains the prayer class I made for you guys, and the other the sutra classes that I put out there for you. Prayer class is very comprehensive. It's 2.5 hours long and explains how to format prayers, why you do it that way, all that kind of stuff. And the sutras are simple thought forms. You put in a 5-minute a day meditation. They're specific to enhance the clair perceptions. But the videos that explain them are over at the website. And now, ta-da, I get to say, to all of you I've met through now 4 whole years this month of doing YouTube videos, and to everybody that through doing these YouTube videos that I've met, and to everybody I've met for now 32 years of doing this work, I want to tell you all it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be able to serve you, and hopefully I will see you back here next month. Bye-bye.